And tonight I want to give you 5 tips for combating the mental game that goes on when we start a new healthier journey. So it doesn't always start in the kitchen or the gym. Yes, the saying of abs are made in the kitchen, totally true. A lot of what happens in our body is dependent on the fuel we give it. But I'm talking about the kind of attitude of I'd love my body if I could lose 10 to 20 pounds. But really, if you don't love your body to begin with, it's not easy to improve your health. It's not, easy to get that motivation to work out or to eat better. Think of it, why would you take care of something that you don't already love? A little analogy to throw out there to kind of solidify that mental game that we have going on is to compare ourselves. Are we the new car in our life or the old car? So the old car, we don't think twice about driving through the mud, hitting those puddles, potholes, fast over speed bumps. We don't think, give it a second thought of spilling something on the seat. It may, suck, but we're like, whatever. And, we're not always good about putting in the right grade of gas or maybe getting tune-ups when we should. Whereas the new car, we're taking care of that baby. We're probably driving a little more carefully. We're getting it washed. We're getting it waxed. We may park farther away than we used to with the old car. We get it polished, we love the car, and we just take extra care with it. So it's the same thing with your body. So the question is, are you the old car or the new car? Are you taking care of yourself like an old car or a new car? So how do we transform our mind from the old car mentality, like, it's okay, to the new car of I want to feel healthy and I want to feel good on the inside and I want to feel strong and confident and, take those extra steps on getting our mental game solid and, kind of ready to go and ready to keep going and keep moving. So step number 1 is to check in with yourself and be honest. Be really honest about where you are, and what what you want to accomplish, what your goals are, where you see yourself when you lose 10 to 20 pounds. Second step is to love and respect ourselves. The question is, if you really don't love your body to begin with, you can't improve your health. You don't want to walk around with the attitude of, well, if I just lost 10 pounds, I'd feel better about myself or I'd love my body more. It can take some time to overcome those years of programming from friends, family, coworkers, TV, magazines of you're not good enough if you don't weigh this, or you're not good enough if you're not strong, or you're not good enough if you can't do 10 push-ups, whatever that programming is in our mind. So part of that love and respect of ourselves is to recognize those negative thoughts. Recognize them, change them into a positive. So let's use the example of push-ups. I may not be able to do 10 push-ups on my toes today, but I can sure do 1. And tomorrow I can do 1.5. And then the next day I'm going to be able to do 2. And so on. So change those thoughts, change it to the positive, and then keep going with the positive. Keep focusing on those positive thoughts. Step 3 is to really evaluate, and this sort of ties into the first step of checking in and being honest, but this is where we take it a step farther, where we look at what we should start doing versus what we should stop doing. So there's probably, like my list, there's, a few things on each, and we really can look at, each part of our list as just a small step in our success. So if you get an afternoon slump and you go for the Cheetos, like I used to do, that was probably, something that wasn't great. Well, I know it wasn't great, but it wasn't something I should have been doing. So in my list, when I started my journey, that was something I needed to stop. I needed to stop having Cheetos every dang day. So what can I replace that with? Do I take fruit? My go-to fruit and my favorite thing to do is apples and Justin's almond butter. And it's yummy. You can do peanut butter, it doesn't matter. But make that change. So make that change from Cheetos 5 days a week to, okay, I'm gonna allow myself Cheetos, because remember, I'm your everything in moderation girl, and there are probably certain foods that should be eliminated, but getting started on our journey, we're gonna limit them, right? And then you'll get to the point where you won't have Cheetos for a period of time. And like me, I have no idea when that last time was, because my taste changed. I fell in love with apples and peanut butter, and now apples and almond butter. And I fell in love with mixing up berries for a snack, for an afternoon snack. So your stop doing and your start doing list constantly evolves with your journey. So don't think this is the end-all be-all list here. It's going to evolve, you're going to change, you're going to, want healthier foods and fuel for your body. So those Cheetos may get pushed down the list, where maybe every 6 months, maybe every year you have Cheetos. I found that my taste changed. Things I used to drink became too sweet, or things like Cheetos and whatnot either became too sugary or salty, or any of those flavors. And your taste change once you start feeding yourself healthier foods, okay? So step 4 is to find yourself a support system. I'm here for you. I will be your support, your cheerleader every step of the way. But you need more than one person. Your family could not be on board, your friends, your coworkers. During my journey, I found that in some ways there were some people who were just not supportive, who I thought were going to be on board. And really, that's on them. That is on them, because they're not ready to change. They're not ready to change their health. They're not ready to stop the Cheetos every day. Whatever it is, just remember that's on them. So you find people that are going to support you. They're going to lift you up. Find that support system that also involves tools, motivation, maybe a group of people who are doing the same thing you're doing. They may not be doing they want the same weight loss, or, similar to the exact same goals, but they are on that journey too. So there's positive energy in those types of groups and those types of support systems. And then the last step, which is just sort of an overall step for our healthier journey, is to remember why. Remember why you want to lose the weight, and what does it look like for you, and how does that feel? Like, when you lose 10 pounds, how's that going to feel? When you gain your energy back and you can run around the block with the kids or the dog, how's that going to feel? You're going to feel strong and empowered. So those are the 5 tips I have for, struggling, changing that mental game we all have. Trust me, I still have it today, and I sit down and write some positive things out, like I'm strong, I'm getting stronger, my clothes are fitting better. Whatever it is at that particular moment, I just scribble it down on a Post-it note and stick it in my calendar, so that when I struggle with something, I have all of these Post-it notes sitting there waiting for me to read, and to remind myself that I'm worth it. I'm worth the investment I'm making in myself. That is all I have for you, and I would love to hear your comments, your tips, what else you do to fight that mental game on your healthier you journey, and I will talk to you soon.